Black Adam is officially out. The movie went through its Thursday night previews. I don't see any numbers on how it performed yesterday, but the theater that I went and saw the movie at was somewhat full. It wasn't super busy, but I also went earlier in the day. I don't know how it looked at night. So I did see the movie. I do have some thoughts on it. I'll say what I said on Twitter and in my YouTube community and what I said on Locals. It's an okay movie. It's nothing special. It's got some really cool action scenes. The scenes, like particularly where he first wakes up in the movie because he was imprisoned. I mean, that's in the trailer. That's not a spoiler. When he gets out of his whatever he's in, because it's the wizards that put him in there. He just starts going on a rampage, and it's pretty sweet. It's a sweet fight scene. There were a couple really cool fight scenes in this movie. It was pretty cool when he fought the Justice Society, and the final fight scene is okay. It's not a great movie. I don't know if I would call it a bad movie either. It's just a movie. I think it's better than anything Marvel's put out. It's better than Multiverse of Madness because, well, we actually get to see a movie starring Black Adam, unlike Multiverse of Madness, where we watched a movie starring everybody but Doctor Strange, who was a helping hand in the movie. Because don't forget, America is the one that really did the heavy lifting, and Wanda defeated herself in that movie. There was no bait and switch. The Rock is the star of this movie. But there's a lot of stupid stuff that happens in the movie, too. I'm not giving it a complete pass, but I didn't hate it. I would compare it to Godzilla vs. Kong, but if it was a superhero movie. And I loved Godzilla vs. Kong, but that movie is a guilty pleasure, and I'm a huge Godzilla fan, so I thoroughly enjoyed it. If you're a big DC comic book fan and a Black Adam fan, you'll probably enjoy this. But to be fair, I don't know a lot about the characters that were in the movie, except for Dr. Fate. I've never been a huge Shazam fan, so this really isn't my wheelhouse. But overall, I thought it was an all right movie. If you want to go to the movies and you want to see a spectacle, it wouldn't hurt to go see it. That's kind of that's my thoughts on it. It's better than Thor, Love, and Thunder, Multiverse of Madness, and it's definitely leagues above She-Hulk, who, by the way, the critics praised that movie, or they praised that show. Once again, showing that critics and audiences are on a big disconnect. So Forbes puts this out, a massive gap opens up between Black Adam critic and audience scores, and we could just go right to Rotten Tomatoes and see that for ourselves. This dropped a little bit. I'm really wondering where this audience score is going to settle. It was at 90% yesterday. 44% rotten for Black Adam. Compare that to She-Hulk, which is certified fresh, and you tell me critics don't play ball with studios. Now, this movie is not perfect at all, but it's much better than She-Hulk, which is complete trash, and Rings of Power, which is complete trash. This movie might not be, it's not going to win any awards, but I wasn't bored when I watched it. Did I think that this was kind of stupid multiple times? I don't want to give away spoilers, so I don't want to get too into it. But there's a couple of scenes in the movie that are pretty dumb. But I didn't hate the movie, and I didn't walk out saying, wow, that was awful. I had a good time watching it. I thought it was fun. I guess that's the key word there. Like, I had fun watching it, but man, like, I could imagine the EFAT people are going to tear it apart because, you know, they love doing that stuff. And that's no knock on them. I personally didn't hate the movie. I thought it was fun, but it's definitely not a masterpiece, and it's nothing to really rave about. But if you're looking for fun and some good action scenes, and you want to see like a badass superhero like beats shit up, like you could do worse. By the way, Rock was jacked in this movie. They had to do it like when he's not in his Shazam form, they have to like CGI him to be skinnier. But like it's nice to see a jacked superhero, unlike in Marvel where they have fat people now as superheroes. So that was kind of nice to see. You're starting to not see that in superhero movies anymore. Look at Namor in Wakanda Forever. He's got like kind of a dad bod. You know, this isn't what I want to see in a superhero movie. But these critics, man, like this is just another example of the disconnect between all these critics, 142 reviews. I guarantee you 90 of them are from California critics. The same people who certified fresh, made Bros, the rom-com about two dudes having orgies all over the place in their apartment. 90% fresh. So 88%, this was at 90, like I said, and the reviews, I mean, not bad, but not great. Good action, but seems very rushed. Don't waste your money. That's subjective. I feel the same. Not bad, but not great. Good action, but seems very rushed. Don't waste your money. That's up to you. But like I said, I didn't hate it. If you could go to a matinee or something, I think you could. If you got time to kill and you want to do something, I would recommend going see it. This guy says, like a WWE match turned comic book movie, I loved every second. The Rock was born for this. Dr. Fate and Hawkman and the JSA. Weak script and villain, but great action and CGI. Stay for the end. 8 out of 10. I feel like that spoiler is there, but I don't want to be the one to spoil it. Though, even though DC themselves are spoiling the cameo at the end, by the way. DC Comics on Twitter, which is just DC now, taking the comics out, they've posted pretty much a spoiler of who's at the end credits. I'm sure people in the comments will be saying it as well. So be careful if you want to avoid all spoilers. But, I mean, it's well known who it is. And, yes, they do use the classic score that we all know and love when he shows up. Here's a 3-star, a bit clunky in terms of pacing and story movement, but overall enjoyable. Not a film I'll feel the need to constantly revisit, but will enjoy when it is on TV. I look forward to DC continuing and improving their films to be more like this and Shazam. It's a fair review. Agree with this one. A lot of action, which was great. The story could have been a little bit better. Overall, really good movie. Impressed by story and the acting. The CGI was near reality, and the music selection was great. The music score was pretty good. And to address a question I know a lot of people won't have, is the movie woke? I didn't think so, but I want to be fair and point out a lot of these characters in this movie, I don't know a lot about them, so any massive changes between the comic books and the movie, I don't know, other than Hawkman, who, yes, they did change him in the movie, but I don't really care about Hawkman, to be honest. I know more about Hawkgirl, and that's because of the Justice League cartoon, which is awesome if you've never seen it. So I don't know. It's up to you. Like, I didn't hate the movie. I thought it was fun. Definitely not great. But I've seen worse movies. And I think if they do the sequel that they're talking about doing, I think that would be pretty cool. See two Titans smash it out in a movie is always fun. So I don't know. It's up to you. Definitely does not deserve a 44. I can tell you that. I just love that these critics are trashing this, but then they give hot trash like She-Hulk and Rings of Power glowing reviews. It just tells you how full of shit all of these critics are. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Check out my Rumble and my locals, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Make sure to check out my locals. There's a link in the description. It's a fun community that I'm trying to build over here. If you don't want to support me on YouTube, you can come over here. None of that money goes to YouTube. You also can just come over here for free. But if you are a supporter over here, I do plan on doing an extra live stream once a month and throwing links to the supporters so you can actually come on and have a supporter live stream with me. Also, it's a good place to catch all of my content. You don't have to worry about notifications like YouTube. They'll definitely work over here. So come check out my locals.